so I was wondering because it is technically already out, but you didn't use that music last time. And we're taking the littles with a bunch of littles this weekend. So that was a perfect one, Rhino. So it is Friday. We got Tanya in the house to talk movies. So how is Paw Patrol doing? Have you heard?
I haven't really seen the numbers from last weekend.
You mean all of the 4 and 5 year olds aren't rushing out there to?
Yeah, there were so many new releases last weekend. I just didn't think to look it up this week. I usually do that.
Rhino said it topped the box office and beat Saw 10.
Oh, good.
There is a God. People
Yes. Well, I've heard a lot of people talk about Saw 10, and they're saying that this is not one of the better ones.
At what point do you just keep kicking a dead horse? So anyway.
I know. Well, and unfortunately, this weekend, the only big new release is the new Exorcist movie.
Thank you for not using that music, Rhino. Never. Let me go back and just say I really appreciate you not bringing us in with that.
I know that movie is that music is sort of in the same vein as Halloween. That creepy. But yeah, and I'm not going to see it.
Thank you.
The previews freaked me out. I was in a theater when I saw the first trailer, and I felt like I had been through a car wash or something.
When I see the trailer comes on TV, which I can't even, I guess I can with some of the things that come on, they go back to the first one and sort of show those scenes in the bed and all the things. And I find myself trying real hard to look away or not just watch it because I will see that in my nightmare. I will see it at night. Yeah.
Yes, and suddenly you're thinking about things when it's dark that normally don't cross your mind.
Rhonda's laughing, but
but I never saw the first one. I've seen bits and pieces. I guess the more famous scenes from the movie, you can't help but see that because they show up. It's such a big part of pop culture, And that enough disturbs me.
And it was a terrible movie. It wasn't even a good movie. It was just the fact that, again, if you are someone affected, it's just, if toys with lines, you're just not sure if you should be watching.
Yeah, and now here we are all these years later, and you've got great special effects, better cameras, CGI, masterminds that make it look pretty real.
Yeah.
Whereas the first one, you could spot the fakery on some stuff, but it's kind of hard now. But yeah, the only thing that is sort of appealing to me about it, but I still am not going to see it, is it's Leslie Odom Jr. stars in it, and he is one of my faves right now. He's, I first came to know him like most people from Hamilton, and he's such a great actor, just a all-around talent. He can sing, he can do it all. So the fact that he was drawn to this, does make me wonder if it's, what did he see, and except for maybe a paycheck. I don't know. This is probably a big movie for him because he still, hasn't had a big role.
Right. What is his role in it?
He plays a dad who has, his daughter is one of the ones that goes missing. She and her friend disappear for 3 days and they come back not remembering what happened. And so I think you see them for the first time in a church after they've disappeared, and they're both kind of possessed I don't know. It's one of those I was thinking, it wouldn't be so bad if we could see some pictures, like some video from the set of these little girls laughing and in their makeup and stuff. But just seeing them with the weird eyes and all, it just freaks me out.
Agreed.
Yeah. But if you want something kind of Halloweenish that's not quite as, or not nearly as scary, and it will not haunt you, even though haunt is part of the name, Haunted Mansion is released this week on Disney Plus.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch with the family if y'all are kind of getting in the mood for Halloween stuff. And then there's another movie streaming on Paramount Plus with Kiefer Sutherland. It's based on a play of the same name, and it's called The Cane Mutiny Court Martial. And it follows a story of a trial of an executive officer that was accused of mutiny. And so that's something to check out, So there are other options besides Exorcist.
Just The Exorcist.
Of course, you can still go see Paw Patrol. Last week we had Dumb Money, Flora and Son, Saw, and then The Creator. So there's still a lot out there to check out. And then today, Hocus Pocus is also being re-released.
The original or the
original? So I know a lot of you out there love that movie. I mean, it's got its following,
and it's terrible.
Yeah,
it's not nearly as
definitely
as The Exorcist.
Not one I'm going to watch over and over. But if it's your jam, it'd be fun to go sit on the big screen.
Darren and Jackson text in and said, I slept with the lights on for 6 months after reading It by Stephen King. The movie was scary, but the book terrified me. There's no way I would have seen the movie, Darren, if I didn't sleep after reading the book. I mean, were you just that curious to see if it ended differently? Because it probably...
I know. Well, and thinking about this, I have been thinking a lot today about, okay, what is the scary movie that impacted me as a kid? And for me, it was Poltergeist.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, that was one because I'm old enough to remember at midnight, the network television went down and you heard the national anthem and just like the movie. And so that was like the worst thing ever to ever find yourself in a position where you are in the same room with the TV when that happens because of the events in Poltergeist. But that's one where I was really convinced there might be a clown under my bed, just different things like that. It scared me.
I was not as scared of Jason because I was refused to go to camp, but the whole Freddy thing really, at my age, finding it on like the TBS, TNT under my, like my parents did not allow it, and I didn't watch the, like the unedited versions, but that something could just come into your dream, like, yeah, I probably should get therapy for that, but yeah, I mean, I just remember that being really creepy. Like that one was the start of like, this doesn't feel right. I just don't like this.
Yeah, and I loved the Friday the 13th and all that, but there was always kind of a comic element to it. It's like, okay, this couldn't happen. I mean, it was just a little too unrealistic,
You were older and wiser.
Yeah. But the ones where you've got people that really could do what's happening in the movie, those are the ones that really freak me out.
That's why I can't watch SVU.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Honest to goodness, can't do it. Someone said they went and saw Blonde last weekend, and it was good. Blondie or Blonde? I'm not sure. Aaron
Marilyn Monroe biopic?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Maybe so. Aaron and Meridian said Cujo. Am I saying that right?
Oh, yeah. That's another one.
Was the movie that scared me when I was little. I saw it when I was 9, I think. And some of those you don't realize what will scare you until you're in it. And parents don't realize what will be sort of scary until they're in it, and then or sad. I mean, just like with Neely showing her Titanic. I mean, I didn't realize she would be really impacted at 10 by this. You knew it was going to sink, but like they make it very dramatic.
Yeah.
And so felt a little bad about maybe we weren't prepared for that, but some of those scarier things for younger kids, that you don't know how they're going to take it.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I showed Jaws to my son when I thought he was old enough, and he wasn't. And I felt really bad about that for a while.
Because, now as an adult that, this is a great movie, and they're going to be fine. Yeah. And I mean, not everybody's going to be fine, but it's going to be okay. And then they don't want to go to the beach.
Yeah. And and then mine also, he never saw the movie Titanic, but they'd studied it at school. And so he became very obsessed with that and would not get on a boat for a while.
Well, that was the problem. She knew too much, like they had studied it in school also. And so I thought, this is great. We even went to the Titanic Museum there in Tennessee when we went for Gatlinburg for the trip. It was great. But something about translating it to watching the emotions of folks drowning sounds terrible, and then seeing it and then humanizing it. Yeah, I mean, she made me turn it. We didn't we had to come back to. I was like, you're gonna have to finish. Like, we can't just leave it in the death scene. But that's every child. You got to gauge it a little bit differently. They were probably talking about The Blind. The
Blind.
So it
Yes,
probably came out
yes.
wrong. The story about the Duck Dynasty family.
Yeah.
I have heard nothing but good things about
Same,
that.
yeah.
For folks who have gotten to go and see it. So.
Yeah, so that's another great one if you want to get to the theater this weekend, but Exorcist is not on your list. But it's funny when you go back and look at the all-time scary movies, the original Exorcist is number one on every list. I mean, it's just crazy.
Be. It really should. It just really should be. If you go and you enjoy it, you can let us know about it next Friday when Tanya comes back, because we won't be giving you any personal reviews on it. But appreciate that, Tanya. You all stick with us. We've got some maybe State Fair tickets to give away coming up next.